today's episode where we're going to be talking about all of the things that for the past couple weeks have been burdening our Twitter feeds. Where were we last, Cole? Oh, it's our Cole. It's Jay. What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It
Cole
feels
is
good
currently,
to be back.
he actually is off for the week, resting, well-deserved resting. What do you think about? Have you watched any of the episodes with Cole on?
I have, and I think he's a great co-host whenever he's on.
He's quite the contrarian.
He does. I like his
Chaz,
energy.
Man, they both have this energy of like, I'm not gonna let Patrick get away with anything.
Right, and it's your show.
I know that's the worst part. Like I come in, and I'm like, don't you agree that this is like this? And they, no,
yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything is this with them. It always ends with them.
Mm-hmm. It's all good though. It does feel good to be back on GOG though.
Well, it's been a long time since people have had you seen you on this. Of course, you're always in the chats, but you've been in button mashing. Catch people up. What's been going on?
Lately I started a new position at my job. It's going okay, I guess, but I've been really working hard throughout the day, and then I get home and I just crash. Like I barely play video games like I used to anymore. I am starting inspired by you, actually. I'm coming out with my own brand of shirts. It's called ETLT, Enjoy the Little Things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to bring awareness to those with disabilities and autism.
Nice.
I'm trying to find a way where we can communicate with our law enforcement in all states, where the first thing that they go for is not their gun, but their mind, so that there's less violence in the world, especially when it comes to those with disabilities or autism. So I'm looking real forward to launching that. Hopefully within the next week or so. I'll be coming out with a prototype shirt. And you can better believe that Patrick Beatty Reviews and everyone here at Patrick Beatty Reviews will be getting a shirt to show support for that.
Better believe. Is that coming up in May?
It should be May. It was supposed to be today, but things got pushed back with the person that I'm getting the shirts printed by. So it'll probably be sometime in May, yes.
Oh, man. What are you even doing on the show? You're here changing the world and coming up with stuff that actually matters instead of like,
I got this idea from my son who's autistic. You know, Luther. Everyone's seen Luther on this show plenty of times. He's actually autistic, and I realized that I'm not going to be here forever. And regardless, my son will be around someone who can handle him and knows him. But in the event that we're not, I would like to have an identifying mark for officers or anyone. Be like, okay, we need to take a different approach than to judge this person with either force or demeaning them by words, because, you know, they're still a human being too. So let's just do something where, you know, we can take a different approach and ask, what can I do to help? Instead of get down on the ground, or you're weird, get away from me, or this, that, and the next thing. So it doesn't demean them or anything like that.
Any first reaction that's not escalation is the thing that needs to be done. And
that's my primary focus.
That's a really good thing, Jay. So congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of things have happened since I've been on Gaggle of Geeks.
I know, right? And it sucks because I don't know. Here's what I feel like has happened from the time the Gaggle of Geeks started to now. Gaggle of Geeks started mainly out of pure, like, I guess, boredom and desperation to have to do something during the pandemic. And there was nothing to do, and who knew how long it was going to go. So we did this for a while, and then we had the aspirations of trying to do Fan X, which we ended up getting to do. Sadly, you weren't able to join us for that, but hopefully there's a chance this year still that we'll be able to. I mean, the Thunderdome thing was fun, and I know for a fact Nate had a blast doing that, so bringing in button mashing would be really fun for that too. And then we all were like, crap, inflation has hit, and now we need jobs. So if anybody, like, you're the only fan that watches this, to be honest. Alan watches, I think, still. I don't know if he
I think he still does, and I think he still watches Gaggle of Geeks too. I mean,
I think Alan for sure watches button mashing. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how many are watching Gaggle of Geeks. We've got our built-in, my beautiful, amazing wife always, and Frank, I guess, watches when he wants to come in and talk, but. Otherwise, it's just us. Yeah, you can see the one person that's in there. Yeah, it's a nap.
Right. So
Watch is just going to be some random person. I'm not mad. Oh,
right, exactly.
Yeah. Ezra Miller has gone through tons of,
oh, he's getting tons of hate,
slaps
man.
and Hawaii assaults. Like, there's a lot of
Right?
time that's happened in
Yeah,
the
you know
span
what?
of these 2 years, 3
Yeah,
years.
it's true, man. It's true. And speaking of Ezra Miller, man, like everyone's calling for him to not be the Flash anymore. I think he did a decent job, honestly.
Uh,
What he does outside of the role really shouldn't matter as long as he's producing on the screen, and that's just coming from a director standpoint. You know what I mean? Like when you're directing stuff, as long as you're doing what you have to do, I don't care what you do out there. Just don't bring that shit in here.
that's the
I mean,
thing. Like,
stuff. My bad.
the,
Stuff.
the some of the accusations are that he did bring that into set and was difficult to work with and stuff. So there's
Okay.
a lot of stuff with Ezra Miller where I think they have some problems with him. I don't care if you're. Here's the other thing, because I don't. Man, we haven't talked about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, which
Nah.
could be just an entire mess in itself. And of
Right.
course, there's going to be 2 males talking about it, and that's going to be a big what have you.
Right.
But here's all I'll say. We just came back from Starbucks. They have a tip jar, one for Johnny Depp and one for Amber Heard, and all the money was on Johnny Depp. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
I'm not gonna say anything else other than that. And maybe Amber Heard. There's been lots of calls for not wanting her involved because she's
right.
Pooping on beds allegedly and stuff, and maybe that's not a good look either.
No, it is not. And I was
DC
surprised she
has some
even made the
problems with their
Snyder.
actors.
I was surprised she even made the Snyder cut. Believe it or not.
That was surprising, especially that she was included in the reshoots. I think that was more surprising to me. That they're like, we're bringing her in for more stuff. So it's
like, why?
All right, I suppose. Maybe it was a way to maybe she had a 3-picture contract deal, and this was an easy way to knock out one of the pictures. Exactly. Okay, now you're done. Okay, now you're done. I don't know. It could be. Do you have any other thoughts about that? Maybe we should we move on from this? Should we not?
We can move tempting, on from it. I mean, it is very tempting because she is
news.
Yeah,
but
she
it's
is
also
nuts. But it's everyone has their day. You know what I mean? So. We'll let's just leave it alone because if we go anymore without having a female present, because it's always good to get it from
Amber Heard when she's in trial.
Yeah, I've seen all the memes. I've seen some of the videos on it from the court hearing and stuff like that, and I'm just like, man, he might have been coked out and stuff and doing whatever he was doing, but at least he didn't do anything, outlandish to her.
Yeah. Man, has my mic been bad this whole time and you just never told
me?
I
have no idea. I can still hear you perfectly fine. Was it not supposed to be?
Have you heard any sound effects?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, I had a sound effect. Here.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? All right. Does it sound better now?
Yeah. Okay, it sounded fine before too.
This is Amber Heard when she's on trial.
You motherfucking accuser!
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it. That is exactly it.
Yep, and meanwhile we're all sitting here like
we live in a society.
yes, we do.
Johnny Depp is
Get out of here, you fucking.
Yeah, exactly. The
whole thing is a mess.
It is. But see, this is something to me that shouldn't really even be televised or anything. No, don't do that. That's mommy's work clothes.
Well, they want it televised. They want the drama.
Yeah.
They want every single thing to be a clip show of one person doing one thing, the other every time it cuts to Amber Heard, she literally looks like she
looks like a demon. She does. She really does, though. And oh man, I wonder how those drawings come out in court, though. I want to see some of those.
The drawings,
like the court sketch.
How much money would you pay for an authentic drawing from the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial?
$1.
Oh, come on! You'd have to.
No, I'm just kidding.
How much would you spend on that?
If I were to buy the actual sketch, I would probably say,
and it's from a good moment too, like a big moment in it.
I pay $100.
Okay,
I gotta act my wage.
Would you want a reaction shot of Amber Heard or Depp on trial or
Depp on trial? I wouldn't want Amber Heard in my house. I'm sorry.
If I did, I would want it to be one of those pictures where anywhere in the room the eyes are still watching you.
Right.
You know, those kind of ones. It's like, oh crap. Oh man. Good on them for getting whatever publicity they want out of this.
True.
I just hope it's even as far as what penalties end up happening here, because for a long time it's felt like Johnny Depp has been a lot more ostracized for stuff, when it's very clear that there's other problems going on too that makes anybody look at this relationship and just say this is toxic and abusive from both ends. Like you saw the video of him slamming cabinets and stuff. That's not healthy. Like that's not a good relationship. No. Whether or not like the other allegations end up coming to, I don't know how long this trial even goes for and how far they are into revealing stuff, but so far none of that has ended up coming to anything. But we've seen the footage of him being, toxic. Right. Seeing her also, we hear her being toxic in most of her stuff too.
Right.
So it's just a shit show. Every single, and the lawyers, you just have to look at them every time and think,
how do you get a job here, there face?
It's like, what is happening with those guys? Her defense team are crazy. Have you watched those videos?
I have. Her defense team reminds me of like watching the Kardashians and Black China go at it. I mean, it's just, man, like
every time there's an objection, they're like, question. They just got one more thing they want to throw in.
I want to throw in one more thing. I got to make this look good for my client.
Did you see the video? There's a clip where they're interviewing, I think it's either the front receptionist for Johnny Depp's hotel or like the place he was staying in. And he was in his car vaping during the whole thing.
Oh, was he?
He was just blowing smoke. And then at one point, after I think the second to last question, he just put his car in drive and started driving away.
Jesus
and
Christ.
He turned it off when he was over. And the reaction to the judge when it cuts back to her, she straight up is just looking. It was there's some great television in this.
Oh, definitely, by far. By far.
Well, I think we've milked that for as much as we can. Let's move over to, I guess, one of our first things that we always do, which is
it's Gaggle of Geeks. What are you geeking about?
Wow. I haven't been on something like that in a long time. It felt good to actually see that.
Hey, what are you geeking about? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first. There's a couple of things I'm geeking about right now.
So this just literally happened this morning. I discovered that the Nintendo Switch Sports is out.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that this morning, and I've been geeking hard about that.
There's nothing wrong about that.
It's one of the first games that Natalie will actually play with me. So like, it's really fun. Like we've been doing fencing, which I don't know.
Nice.
They call it something completely different. It's not called fencing. And then they've got your traditional tennis, which I'm incredible at tennis. Do you play Nintendo's?
I don't. I'm strictly a big console boy right now.
Oh my goodness!
The PS5,
How
man.
dare you?
No, I'm just kidding.
Dare you?
I don't own a Nintendo Switch. I do plan to own one here very soon. It's a gift for my wife. So
big boy stuff.
Think about it. It's Nintendo, man. It's Nintendo.
I'll be honest. It's very easy to play these games. It's not story based yet or challenge based, but I don't know. I'm also playing Pokemon, so I can't really say that that's a big boy game.
No, not at all. Not just kidding.
I play Grand Theft Auto. I play Grand Theft Auto.
That is a big boy game.
And I spent big boy bucks on that game too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I think when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online before I actually got married to my wife, I had close to $78 billion, and I've wasted like almost $6,000.
How do you make money in the game?
By stealing shit, doing missions and stuff, and taking their money. I just kept using the shark cards. I kept getting nothing but shark cards, so I could get everything I wanted. Got a high rise. I got all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
I'm in Crown Towers. I don't know. I think that's what it is.
That's where I'm at.
Nice. Oh, that makes me feel like we're close. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, do you have an airplane hangar?
I don't have an airplane hangar.
I've got a hangar, and I've got not the fastest plane, but the other one.
I
It's
got
like a
the
little bit
jet.
slower.
Yeah, I got
Got
the little Speedo jet bike or whatever. I got like
got
6 of those things.
Man, this is so boring for people probably. I got a Batmobile. I've
Uh,
got the Back to the Future car. I've got the jet thing.
I got a GTR, a Ferrari, and an Acura
Nice.
NSX. That's pretty much it.
Oh, and I've got a house that's right underneath the Hollywood sign.
Oh, I don't have a house. I just
Yeah,
have
I
the
wanted that so
tower.
I could be like, I'm by Hollywood.
Right?
Yeah, that was another thing that depression did for me. It was like, you want to live here? It's like,
Right?
you want
Like
to come live in the Grand Theft Auto world for a little bit?
just a little bit. I guess I guess you could say what I'm geeking about are a few things. I'm definitely anxious to get back into watching Halo again.
Mhm.
It's to me, I
It's
think
really that
that
good.
they you have to look at it from a different perspective. You can't just look at it from a video game perspective. There
Okay.
a lot of people are upset that Master Chief is showing his face and all this other good stuff, but I'm like, it's a TV show. He can't have the helmet on the entire time. Was he supposed to eat with his helmet on too? Like, come on,
Well,
be
is the
realistic.
story good though? Are they following a game
I'm
storyline, or is it a whole new thing?
They're following the story to a degree, but they're turning it to their own thing. It's kind of like the recent Batman movie, which was very good. They took a different approach and showed the more detective side instead of the more action-packed side of Batman and Bruce Wayne, and hell, even Andy Serkis's as Alfred did pretty good.
Mhm.
So I just think that if you come into Halo and you're going to start watching Halo, come into it with an open mind and pay attention to the story, because there's a reason why things fit the way they fit. It doesn't It's just like watching Star Trek Discovery on, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different approach. Every Star Trek is different. Let this be different. Let them
Yeah.
do their thing. And
Okay.
it'll all come full circle eventually. And that's all I'm waiting for, is the full circle. So I'm geeking out about Halo and also Call of Duty right now too. They're introducing next week Godzilla versus King Kong in the video
Oh,
game.
okay. Oh,
So
that's
I'm
cool.
I'm
So in Call
definitely
of
geeking
Duty,
out
you're
about that.
fighting a huge monster?
I'm not sure what the hell we're going to be doing. That's a
Because those
mystery.
soldiers, it doesn't work out for soldiers if you're in those
Oh,
movies. You get
I
squished
mean,
immediately.
I was wondering if they
There's
were
no
gonna.
hero
They just recently added Snoop Dogg in the game, which was kind of cool too. So you get to play as Snoop. But
because
I'm
he
like,
have like grenade
oh,
bombs that he smokes them and throws them, and
oh yeah, dude, you got to see some of the quips that
that's
he
funny.
says, and like you go doing a killing action, and like he's smoking a blunt, and then he'll pass you the blunt while he's killing you. It's kind of cool. It's hilarious.
That's funny. What Call of Duty is that? Warzone?
Warzone, yeah, Warzone and
Uh,
Vanguard.
Warzone I tried once, and like you drop in right
Hmm.
into just a random location, but then from there I had no idea what you do.
You loot and you fight to survive.
What does that mean though? Like how long do you survive before it restarts? Like
Um,
is this like what multiplayer online was when you would go to certain towns, except it's a whole world? Or
no, in this instance, you're dropping in and you have to get to a certain point in the map. As the circle closes in, you have a cloud of smoke coming in.
Mhm,
And if you're caught in the smoke, it will definitely hurt you. But
mhm.
there's areas where you can stay out of the smoke, and that's where you're rotating into, and you're fighting everyone else as you're rotating in. It's literally a survival based shooter game, and I like this a lot better than Fortnite, believe it or not. Fortnite
Hmm.
is cool, but they might have started the whole circle thing, but it is Warzone is way better by far.
What is this button mashing? Have we just started a button mashing episode?
No,
I spent
I
20
mean, we
minutes
could
talking
have,
about
but
video games. That's crazy. That's
video
so funny.
games and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's great.
Right. Amber Turd. Oh,
So,
Amber
but
Turd
yeah,
is too funny of a it's so
that
funny.
is.
It's so funny.
Amber
Man.
Turd.
And
Oh man.
can we talk about how I kind of don't like how much Johnny Depp is kind of he's acting.
Yeah.
You could tell he's acting.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
Not to go back
professional.
over to this again, but it seems like he's a little bit overacting on it. But anyway,
Right.
ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we going to
Speaking
talk
of,
about next? What were we talking about? Well, I mean, it is Multiverse of Madness week, so I think it's
It
time that we
is.
can talk a little bit about some pre-gaming with
Oh, yeah.
Multiverse of Madness and what your expectations are, and if you think it's going to rank among the highest of the Marvel films. I've got some concerns that this might just be kind of throwing everything in the sink at this multiverse concept. And after seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once, I have a favorite multiverse movie. And I don't think Doctor Strange will ever beat that film. It can't beat that film.
It can't beat Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, Everything Everywhere. Have you seen that one?
No.
Dude,
No,
go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's my favorite movie of the year.
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
It is incredible. It's a multiverse film starring Michelle Yeoh.
Is that on
And
HBO
it's A24.
or?
No, it's in theaters. It's A24.
Oh, in theaters? Oh, okay. I will make sure to take a. I'll make sure to add
it'll
that
be
to
coming
the
on
list.
soon. It'll probably come out soon. But yeah,
I look forward
that
to
one's
it
the one
then.
I want. This one seems like they're kind of like let's show in live action everything we were doing from What If and put it in a Doctor Strange story, which can be fine. But
What
that's
If was really great. I was about to say that's a lot to add in. And how long is this movie going to be? Has there been a movie time confirmed for this?
I could check that.
I mean, because with the amount of stuff that they have
already.
with the amount of stuff that they're getting ready to pack into this movie that we can see, it's got to be at least a 2-hour movie, give or take.
Let's
you got,
see.
Sir Patrick Stewart coming back in as Professor Xavier in the yellow, all sorts of stuff, man. Like in the last trailer, he's in his actual yellow. Hovering wheelchair like that he was in the X-Men.
Whoa,
TV
what are
show.
you saying, bro? Are you spoiling stuff?
No, it's all in the trailer.
It's barely in the trailer.
But you can see it.
That is such a stretch. Oh my god.
You can see it. That's what I paid attention to in the trailer.
I don't think that's it at all. Here's where it is in the trailer, in that very special XD where they show the very stretched out. But nobody watched the stretched out XD trailer. That was us. That was us weirdos.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
that's so
I
funny.
paid attention. Some of my button mashing routes
2 hours and
some
6
of my
minutes, by the way.
2 hours and 6 minutes. So yeah, they have a lot to unpack in that little amount of time. Because what's the next project after that? You know what I mean? That's going to meet in with that Miss Marvel, right? So
yep, Miss Marvel, and then Thor: Love and Thunder, then Wakanda Forever. Which, by the way, CinemaCon released their footage. No, they didn't release footage. They did all their announcements and stuff. I actually got an invite to see the Avatar trailer, only the trailer.
Really?
Like to go to a theater just to watch a trailer.
I'd do it. It's a great movie.
Isn't that, you were saying Matrix and Avatar are your top ones, right?
Matrix, Avatar.
Which, by the way, what did you think of?
You know what? We won't talk about the disappointment of that. It was hard to watch, man. I mean, it was good to see everyone back, but it was extremely depressing. Like I waited up all night to watch this movie, and then I realized as I'm watching it on this nice big TV I have here, I can watch this on my phone in my bed. So that's exactly what I did. I went from a 65-inch screen to a 10-inch screen real quickly. I was disappointed, man. I was super disappointed.
Yeah, that movie is not what anybody wanted. It really at the end was like, you shouldn't have even done it.
Shouldn't have even attempted. Yeah, don't get me excited for something that's not excitable.
Yeah, but Multiverse of Madness, what is going to be like? Let's give top 3 expectations. All right, think about your top 3, and I'm going to list off a couple as I go. Okay.
All right.
First expectation, I do think that we're going to get a return of Doctor Strange and the girlfriend. I think there's going to be some type of situation where she's engaged with somebody else, maybe kind of like Spider-Man 2 with Mary Jane and the astronaut, right? Jay Jonah's son. I think there could be something going on with that where he either is going to witness something tragic happen after her wedding, or he wants to stop it from happening, and that's where the multiverse stuff comes into play. But whether she is engaged through the entire thing, I think she might have the shortest amount of time in the
Right.
film, except for just being kind of like Deadpool 2, like just a plot device, like always resetting, always going back. I'm not entirely sure. We know that there's going to be 3 Doctor Strange characters, right? I think no,
we
4. 4 if you're including the zombie.
Yeah, 4 if you're including zombie. We have regular Doctor Strange. We have the other half of Dark Doctor Strange. We have Dark Doctor Strange from the What If series, and then we have. Oh wait, Zombie was also in the What If series too, wasn't he? So, yeah, that's 4.
And then here's my final expectation. I would like Scarlet Witch in the end to go full House of M and say mutants and bring mutants into the MCU officially.
Right.
Like,
I think
instead
that's
of
what's
saying
gonna
no more
happen.
mutants, say bring all the mutants, make everyone mutants, something like that.
I expect to see a surprise cameo somewhere in this with the Fantastic Four, since that was also announced earlier on this year. That's one of my expectations for this, that they're gonna like kind of bring that in with this, because you're talking about the multiverse. You can't talk about the multiverse without having the Fantastic Four in there, and they really need a good redemption. The Fantastic Four does.
They need a good start. They've never gotten a fair start.
They never got a fair shake, and I think
stories. Even that was like, I guess.
Right. I mean, look what happened with Johnny Storm. He became Captain America. So, I mean, if they can do that,
do you want Captain Britain and then to have Chris Evans show up as Johnny Storm to be in the Illuminati?
You know what? That would be funny.
I don't think regular mainstream realizes that the Illuminati are in this either.
Oh no, they don't. But it has been.
We know exactly what it is.
We know exactly what. All us nerds know exactly what that is. My second expectation for this movie is: will we finally know what's going on with Nick Fury? Will he make a type of appearance in this as well?
Oh, in the sense like it might tie into Secret Invasion.
It might tie into Like will this tie into Secret Invasion or something like that? And my third expectation is, how is Tom Cruise going to do as Tony Stark in this?
He's not in it. I doubt it. That dude was too busy yelling on COVID sets.
That's true.
They didn't have time to put him in. Like, scheduling wise, nobody even said that he was, visiting the studios or doing anything like that.
Right. So was that debunked in? Am my facts wrong?
All my sources from what I've seen say that he's not in it. Whether or not there was a cut that he was in, or the way that they put it is that these things change so fast that some things could end up being true. Like, it's very likely that maybe he was in a version, but maybe at this point they just don't have that. I don't know.
Right. Well, I guess we will see.
We'll have to see. I think those are some good expectations, though. Where do you think it's going to rank amongst the recent Phase 4 films?
Between what we already have out now, last.
You think it's going to be worse than Eternals?
Oh, you know what? Eternals.
Phase 4. So Phase 4, we're talking about Black Widow, Eternals, No Way Home, Shang-Chi.
I'll put it at 5. I'll put it at 5.
And if you want to even include the Disney Plus shows, you could do that.
Well, then if we're doing that, then 7.
But it's so fast. It's so fast to came up with that number. So confident.
Well, I have. If you want to include all like Disney Plus too, that means the Falcon Winter Soldier. We have Hawkeye.
I just love that you came up with the numbers of it. I would not have been able to do that.
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest. You got to do it on the fly.
I got a little bit of Marvel fatigue, man, and maybe it's just because like all these effects are starting to blur in and look the same and everything.
Right. And I'm kind of with you on that.
I don't know.
And that's kind of why I'm taking my time with Moon Knight. Like I said, I did watch the first episode of that, but then again, I got the Halo series. I just finished watching the Jack Reacher show on Amazon. I thought, oh man, I'm a big fan of Jack Reacher.
I've heard it's real good.
It is very good. It actually meets up with the first book very well. They followed that script straight to the T, and that's very hard to do.
Mhm.
I think the only people who can get away with adapting the book and a movie that's somewhat close would be Harry Potter, and even that of Lord of the Rings. But
Mm.
yeah, they did very good with this. It was a lot better than, no offense if you're watching, Mr. Cruz, but this guy does a better job at Jack Reacher than Tom Cruise does.
Oh, get him!
I'm throwing it down because it's that bad.
You're short. You short Scientologist.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Literally.
How dare you try to be
Like
Jack
you-
Reacher?
Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
throwing that
those are our
gauntlet
thoughts
down.
on Multiverse of Madness. We're excited
Yes.
to see it. I'm seeing it on Monday.
Oh, are you?
Hopefully,
Then-
we'll get a review out by. Oh, when is the embargo? Well, we'll look at it later. But
Yeah.
review to come. Let us know what you think, and let's move over to a quick trailer reaction of Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh, they put it at the bottom. Let's change that.
Oh wow. Well, yeah. that's
Thor:
really
Love
weird.
and Thunder. We got thunder and some love. What do you think of this trailer? Is it everything
like-
you wanted?
I like seeing Valkyrie sitting in the chair, having everything more sophisticated and more organized than Thor was. But you can tell that she really is like, I'm not meant for this.
Yeah.
Like I'm not with all this. But I think so far, I think she's doing a great job. Seeing the transition of Thor from a child in the trailer, the running scene in the beginning, I thought was kind of dope.
Mhm.
And the new costume too for him, I thought was pretty dope as well.
It looked very shiny.
It did. It
Very
had
shiny.
it had a very good reminiscence of the actual comic book costume that he had. I
Nice.
think they definitely did something special with that.
Someone also
seeing-
pointed out it kind of looked like the What If version of Thor 2.
It could have been. It definitely could have been. I was at the end of the trailer when you see Jane Foster with the hammer that looks all cracked out. I'm like, oh wow,
Mhm.
what is this? Even Thor was like, that's impossible.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like,
It looks like they're in New Asgard where
right,
she shows up, but he's in a whole different outfit that looks like a traditional like Asgardian armor
Right.
from like the first realm or whatever.
right,
Hemsworth going through the vigorous training montage is going to be hilarious. I'm
right.
really excited to see with the cap that says "Strongest Avenger" on that he's wearing as he's like doing that. It looks good.
It does.
No gore yet, so we haven't seen Christian Bale unless you've looked at the marketing for some of the toys and stuff.
No, I haven't. I try to stay away
It's
from
basically
toy marketing.
basically Christian Bale. It's
Yeah.
just Christian. He kind of reminds me of the albino from Da Vinci Code.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit of that, but it's fine,
right. It's cool. It's cool.
I like Mayor Valkyrie, King
Right.
Valkyrie. I think she's awesome. I like that she's in a suit. I like that Meek is in a suit in the background too.
Right, and he's just sitting
Korg's
there
doing
chilling.
his thing. We have the whole Guardians crew that's there, except for Gamora.
Right.
And I
Now,
think
see,
I'm
I'm a little bit worried about
gonna-
that because everyone's been calling for to replace Chris Pratt, as Star-Lord, and I'm like, why?
He's probably going to
It's-
be dead in the next movie anyway.
Exactly. So just wait and see what happens. As you
Yeah.
can tell in Marvel movies, anything can happen. Someone's going to die. So we
Mhm.
just have to watch them die.
And also, if Mel Gibson gets work, Chris Pratt gets work. You can't
Right.
you can't pick and choose stuff with like that.
Yeah. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
You can't have, one can't exist without the other.
And I don't think, honestly, we're going to see a new iteration of Guardians after this is
After
done. I
this
think
movie?
Guardians will be completed at that point.
True.
Because it's so inherently James Gunn. If I were Kevin Feige, I wouldn't even want to. I would. That would be like if. Oh, there's the newest news, by the way, about John Watts. We can talk about in a sec. But it'd be like taking John Watts away from Spider-Man at this
Right.
point and trying to do it. A part of you just doesn't even feel like it's worth the effort. Which, by the way, he's no longer doing Fantastic Four. So
No.
that's the news.
I literally
Disney's
just saw
break.
that just last night before I went to bed. It came up
Yeah.
on my little news feed. I'm like, oh wow, that's
Oh,
big.
good for him. Take a break, dude. If
Yep.
if Spider-Man's taking a break, you should take a break. And this Marvel machine This machine just keeps churning and going. So
Yep.
people aren't machines, if you're just
True.
constantly doing it. To me, if you're a director that's constantly doing franchise films for a franchise, it's almost like being like a conveyor belt worker for Amazon,
Right.
where it's like
Right.
you're not really doing anything creative anymore. You're just churning out. Like, you have creativity in your work, right? But
Right.
it's just the same thing over and over. You're going to need a break. Go do some indie films. Go reclaim your passion in certain stuff, or just, I don't know, sleep and eat Cheetos.
Right. Or
Be bored.
work on your mental health. Like
I can't imagine how much work it is.
Yeah, and how much is that really consuming of your outside life when that's all you're doing? I know personally, like as a former truck driver, I didn't have a life, man. I was just on the road
Yeah.
all the damn time. I didn't get a chance to see any of the new video games. I had to wait to get the PS4 when it came out. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to. Sometimes it's good to
I can
take
only
time for
imagine
your
with
mental
that.
health and stuff.
I'm with you. And so that mental health, speaking of, tying right back into Thor, we're seeing him trying to discover who he is, and he's getting more perspective on what life could be without him being just a fighter. So it's interesting to see where he goes with that. I'm excited to see Jane Foster, and it's probably my most anticipated Marvel film of the year. Is Thor?
Yeah, I think Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be a great addition to the MCU lineup. I want to see if they're going to actually add Beta Ray Bill in this at all.
That could be a surprise one still. That maybe there was a shot where they were supposed to be somebody and they digitally replaced him.
They digitally replaced him.
They do.
Right.
That's how they do that.
Because I mean, I remember when we were watching, what was it? The last Thor movie, with the Hulk in it.
Oh, Schindler's List.
No.
No, that wasn't it.
No, it was the one.
I
with
wanted
Jeff
to see
Goldblum.
what you do.
Schindler's List. What the hell? Isn't that Liam Neeson?
I just wanted to see what you do.
In the last Thor movie, they showed Beta Ray Bill's like sculpture.
Statue.
Yeah,
on a building.
So in a building and stuff like that. So yeah.
We'll see. Well, tell us what you guys think of the trailer. And sorry, it's a bit of a later news thing, but let's kind of close this out. This is a shorter episode, and then we'll do a little quick news. But we're going to talk about a quick review of the first episode of Under the Banner of Heaven, starring Andrew Garfield, which, by the way, in other news, Andrew Garfield is going to be taking a break from acting after this. And
as he should.
It's well-deserved. Word around the rumor mill is that Sony went to him wanting him to be the new Spider-Man for this Morbius Venom hybrid universe, and he passed. Good for him. Know your worth. Moving on. Know your worth. You don't need that garbage. You don't deserve the Jared Leto Morbius, dude. You're better than that.
That movie apparently was so bad. I watched a review on it, by the way, and I was just like, well, now I don't want to see it. I'll wait for it to come out on Disney Plus if it does, or if it comes to HBO streaming or whatever the case it is. Wherever it's stream, I'll wait for it.
It's a big no. Yeah. You would think that the biggest turd that came out during that week was when they were talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, but nope, it was Morbius.
That is
I don't know if that happened on the same week. That joke might not have landed. Oh well. But Under the Banner of Heaven, this is a film, a series about a investigation of two juxtaposed histories: the origin and evolution of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, more commonly known as the Mormon Church, the LDS Church, and a modern double murder committed in the name of God by brothers Ron and Dan Lafferty, who subscribe to fundamentalist version of Mormonism, which there's quite a bit of different fundamentalisms with this. What do you know about the church, Jay?
Not much.
Oh man,
I'll be honest with you. I don't know too much. I don't.
Well, they are talking about
like
some.
Supposed to.
So there are a lot of I think there's two other sects of the LDS Church, the RLDS and the FLDS, the Fundamental Church of Jesus Christ, and the Reformed Church of Jesus Christ. Right. And then there's the regular Church of Jesus Christ. It's the big one that's all temples and stuff in Utah. I won't get into the backstory and stuff, but I'll say this. It's very faith-based, very family-based, and Andrew Garfield is playing somebody that's kind of investigating a murder that's very intertwined with church dealings.
Oh
And
wow.
the church is very closed fist when it comes to their content. Like, they're going to keep things in-house. If they're showing you anything that's coming from the church, it's coming from like at the top down. Like, they've approved everything, they've made sure it all works. And this year has been a weird year to be seeing a lot more stuff that hasn't been approved by them necessarily, and are more like indie films at Sundance. The Mission was a documentary feature about missionaries and what that real life was like. Now we have this that's is essentially like a fully produced HBO series that's about more. It's really weird, especially being a Mormon, ex-Mormon. It's very weird seeing how it's shifted over. And in the first episode, you're hearing like it's kind of tough. You can only really understand the surrealism if you've been in that religion. But when you hear stuff like you're a temple recommend holder, how could you do something like this? It's crazy because it's like that's so cheesy in one sense, because like that's the cheesiest thing I've ever heard, and nobody talks like that here. But at the same time, it's also like maybe it is though, because what if that was a bishop and they just talk like that to people? I don't know. And it's like you made covenants before God, and like he's in an interrogation room. It's like what is happening?
That's
there's
crazy.
there's a lot of cool stuff to this though, but it's on Hulu. You can check it out. I've only watched the first episode, so I can't say too much about it other than it was surreal to keep hearing stuff and seeing my hometown basically and where I'm living, just them filming stuff everywhere here. When was Andrew Garfield here, and why couldn't I touch his hand?
Exactly. I was like, if you knew Andrew Garfield was going to be there, you'd be like, Spider-Man, can I just take one picture with you?
Right. Post Malone's here. He's chilling. But
that's true. And then you got Stradman and everyone else in the Utah crew out there as well.
There's a lot of Utah people now. I hate them. They jacked up all of our home prices and ruined my life.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about?
Which is a simplification.
I'm paying $6.19 for gas.
That's crazy.
And yeah, the struggle is real. California don't play.
I think we're finally at like 450, and we might be getting up to 5. But
you guys are mad that you're at 450. Shoot,
here's the thing. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad at the houses that at first, like a townhouse was probably like 200, 253. Now it's like 450 or 5.
Oh wow! Out here, it went from the low end 6. Now you have to the highest 1.2.
Jeez.
And that's
you
right
brought that here.
From my
you
house.
All brought that here.
Like you guys thought California was tripping. Nah. Putin did that. He did that in a matter of a month. 1 month ruined the entire world. So
Amber turd and pooping. We should have called that. That's what we should have called this episode. Okay, I can change that when we get out of this.
Yeah, Amber turd and pooping.
But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff with regards to this Under the Banner of Heaven's season, and I'll probably be putting out a couple reviews, maybe some interviews with people if I can hopefully get any. And it would be cool to continue on this thread. But I want to know what people think about that as well. And with that, I think we're closing out this with a little bit of an update and a little bit of news. Guys, Gaggle of Geeks has been on life support, right? Like we kind of have been gasping for breath a little bit.
We holding on.
Especially when it comes to consistency. And it's dawned on me that on one end, it's not fair to continually like promote this as a weekly show if it's not going to be weekly. And also it feels a little bit in a way like wanting to not be doing this as often and coming out and like actually talking about it and announcing it is in a way getting that blessing from the audience to be able to go and try different stuff too. So that it's not necessarily every week we're doing Gaggle of Geeks, but like maybe once a month or maybe even once a year, like depending on how we want that thing to go. But that there can still be week-to-week content that's not directly related to that. So that's basically the announcement, is that Gaggle of Geeks is basically just going to be on a hiatus for now, and we're going to focus on other things. And hopefully, like, we're on episode 94, so the end goal is hopefully by the end of the year to get to 100, which I
Lucky
think
number
could
100.
be doable.
I can
And
see
maybe
that
we could just
happening.
close it completely at that point. Like, have these last episodes be some of the craziest, weirdest stuff that we have time with, and then close it out. But for now, yeah, I think it's time to just say we need to talk about maybe taking a little pause. That's not the right song. I was gonna do a different one.
I
No,
mean,
which one? We can do.
there we go.
I have
Isn't
no
that
idea.
that was button mashing.
That was button mashing.
I was like, wait a second, button mashing. Where'd that come from?
Or that one. We have all
Or
kinds of
that
stuff.
one.
Yeah, but with that said, it's not to say that we wouldn't do other more things, but
Of
we're
course
gonna take a break for now. But make sure to keep tuning into this podcast, the Patrick Beatty Reviews podcast, which is what it's now labeled, as there will be many more things to come. Interviews with people, maybe just straight review episodes, because that frees it up to just do a full like review episode of one movie, move on to the next,
Right.
etc. But it was only fitting, Jay, that I brought you on for this one, so that as we take the break, we're ending it with the number one fan, with one of the best people to have on the show. So once again, man, thank you for joining us. And tell us where people can find you and your story, all that.
I mean, it's been one hell of a 2.5 years that, you know, I've been a part of this experience. If it wasn't for, you know, your inspiration to get me onto YouTube and stuff like that, and to do the things that I do, I would not be here, sitting here talking with you on your show, which is crazy. So this show here has brought a lot of life into me and things that I feel like I know what I want to do now. And it's been great. So thank you for having me on, especially on today's episode, even though we're closing it out, man. It's good.
It's like we're closing the door, but we're putting the keys on a hook that we can remember.
Right.
Like,
but
the keys are still there, but
I will say this though, if you guys do need a weekly dose of something, stay tuned to button mashing, because button mashing wouldn't have been started without Gaggle of Geeks. So if you still want to get your geek on, you can still get it on with us over at button mashing.
That's very true. And it's the only reason that it's separate is honestly for SEO. Like, more than anything, it's just like you won't grow unless you get out. It's kind of like when a kid turns 18, but like that doesn't exist anymore because everybody has to live with their parents now.
Right. Got to give us a chance to breathe and expand. I mean, it's turned into so many different other projects, with me getting ready to start Enjoy the Little Things, or ETLT, a little series that I'm going to be doing here with Luther and stuff like that. And all sorts of stuff, man. Like it's branched off into certain things that I plan to include with Gaggle of Geeks, button mashing, and other projects that I'm involved in. So this is nice. You know, this is a great honor.
We really started something for a few people, and a few people is all that matters.
Right.
Doesn't
and
need
shout
to
out
be
to
many.
And shout out to Chaz, Nate, Scott,
Richard, Adam, Caitlin,
and even Natalie,
everyone.
And even Miss Natalie.
Yep, and Natalie will always being the fan on the
the
fan on the camp.
Watching.
Does she want to come in and say anything before? I don't know if it's even her that's here. If it isn't her, it would be hilarious. But if she wants to come in and say something before, that might be That might be nice. So, we could bring Frank into this. Ray, she started it.
Right, she did.
She was involved with this too.
So, you know, all the different many people in the background, man. Thank you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
very much.
Really thank you guys. And make sure you guys stay tuned to ABC4 and see my man Patrick on there, man.
Oh,
there she is.
Oh.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Nat, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's good to see you guys. It's a happy couple. Y'all so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, Frank's here too.
Hey, Frank.
He'll come around somewhere.
Yeah.
About.
Well, do you have anything to say to the fan?
I would like to thank me for showing up and watching the show.
Through all
No,
the weird iterations.
You guys have done really cool stuff, and it's been really cool to watch
Right.
from the living room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue watching from the living room when.
Thanks for letting
whenever you
me
do whatever.
spend so much money on dumb stuff.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great babe. Thanks for letting me spend money on expensive stuff.
Thank you for letting me do this
You're welcome.
thing,
You're welcome.
man. And thank you all. Let's end this out and
Yeah.
close it the right way that we always do. Geek out. Have fun.